Welcome to the ABNC show. My name is Zain Hashmi, and I'm joined by Josh Sharp. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man.
Episode 2.
Oof. Oh
You know,
boy.
we did not mess up the first time. We got
Surprisingly,
surprisingly there were no errors, no technical errors, as we tried to predict last time.
so now we should predict that everything's gonna go perfectly fine, and then just completely screw
Just,
everything up.
just completely screw up. And I just kind of wanted to say a personal thank you to Josh, number one, for helping me out with the show, and then to you guys, the viewers. This was going to be a success with only 10 viewers. We hit 156 viewers in episode 1. So thank you guys so much for tuning in last week, and we hope to make this show better and better as we move on, and we hope to include you guys, the audience, the fans, the listeners, just be a part of the show. And do you have anything else to say after that?
No, not really. I mean, pretty much you covered everything. It's super awesome that it was like it's successful. We're growing. We're building. First
And
episode.
like I said, 10 views, it would have been a success in my books. We crossed that with like over 140 more, and it's hopefully it's only going to grow from here, and hopefully you guys spread the word, spread the love, spread everything, and
Spread the cheeks.
spread the cheeks. Just spread everything, guys. Come on.
Spread it.
So we got.
I should not have. Whatever.
I mean,
Whatever. Hey, we're one take, Drake. We only do this in one take. Let's do
one
it.
take. No cuts, no nothing. So we got a lot to talk about today, guys. Let's just jump right into it. Ben Affleck is Batman no more. Late Wednesday, word got out that Ben Affleck has hung up the cape and the cowl, as director Matt Reeves is said to be aiming for a younger actor for the role of the Cape Crusader. The casting process is said to be beginning soon. Josh, is your heart broken that Ben Affleck's not coming back as Batman?
Dude, so like 2 months ago, my buddy was at a comic shop and he was just like, yeah, he was like, they have like a Ben Affleck Batman hot toy that's like pretty cheap. Do you want it? And I was like, hell yeah, I do. I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to today with this news breaking, Ben Affleck is now peering into my soul as I sit in front of my computer because the hot toy is just staring at me. So
How much is a hot toy like that worth? Probably a lot,
dude,
right?
I mean, yeah, it was about I think like 220.
Jeez.
They're pretty expensive, but the thing is, I got them for like a steal because usually after like hot toys come out, they go up in price. But I got him at the price that he was when he came out, so I got essentially highway robbery. But it's now he's mocking me,
Damn.
and it's really sad because Ben Affleck is my favorite live action Batman. I think he did such a phenomenal job. I know some people don't like BVS, and I know that you have your own kind of quarrels
I still like the movie, but he's the best part of that movie
oh, by far.
by
I mean,
far.
we hadn't seen an established Batman that has a dead Robin that's been Batman for 20 years who's seen his best
We've
friend
seen the
20 away.
origin story, so it was kind of refreshing to see like an older take, like a more grizzled veteran Batman.
Like he most likely has seen his friends like Harvey Dent turn
Mhm.
into Two-Face and become one of
Yeah.
the biggest villains in Gotham.
Mhm.
There's so much history surrounding Ben Affleck's Batman, and I was so excited to see that Batman in a solo film and kind of seeing him in his own element, seeing him operating Gotham and
Mhm.
and,
I was looking forward to him to direct
Batman
his own
thing.
movie. Like
Yeah,
Ben
no,
Affleck was going to direct it.
it's funny because I had recently seen when we found out that he was directing it, I had just watched Argo, and
Mhm.
Argo is a great movie.
It's fantastic.
And
Yeah.
I was just like seeing how he tackles a Batman movie when he is Batman would be super interesting because that's something that we have not seen in a comic book movie where the star
Mhm.
of the film directs that film. So
Yeah.
it was I'm really I'm really bummed, man. Like
It's sad, and like we should have seen. And this has been building for a while. Like the moment when it was announced that he was not going to direct this thing, there was already rumors at that point saying that he may not even come back as Batman after Justice League. He might be done. And as much as I didn't want to believe it, it was probably true. And then as time went on, as we heard, personal things, started coming up into his life. He went into rehab recently. His divorce got settled, and probably being Batman isn't the best time for him at the moment. Everything that's going on with I feel sorry for the dude 100%. But it does break my damn because he was one of the best things in Batman vs Superman, and I agree he's probably one of the best on-screen Batmans we've had yet. Maybe.
I think so.
I mean, he certainly looks the part. I still flip between him and Bale, to be honest. But
See the thing about Bale, and like he don't get me wrong, Bale was a great Batman, but like and he was a really good Bruce Wayne too. I think I liked his Bruce Wayne more than his Batman.
mhm.
But for Ben Affleck, I loved both equally.
Yeah, same
Like I
here.
don't know, like the way that he portrayed Bruce Wayne, like he had like that cockiness, that kind of that I mean, for lack of a better word, he had that Bruce Wayne swag
The swagger, yeah.
that we haven't seen at all in like
Mhm.
live action because Michael Keaton didn't do it. George Clooney for damn sure didn't do it.
Man, George
Uh,
Clooney's the best. What do you? I'm just joking.
the best Batman, best Bruce
Mhm.
Wayne.
Mhm.
Val, of course, I don't even remember Val Kilmer's Batman, dude. Like
Dude,
at all.
he was actually, you know what? That movie is shit, right? Batman
Yeah,
Forever. But he, to be honest, he wasn't terrible. He was not like the worst thing about the movie. He was a
I may
pretty.
need to go back and watch it.
I mean, like you don't need to if you don't want to because it's a really bad movie.
I kind of want to. I
Uh,
like, dude. I have a special place in my heart for Batman and Robin. As balls as that movie is,
Mhm.
I love it.
I don't know how
I
to.
love it.
It's so bad.
Oh,
But you know what?
no,
I respect Batman and Robin for killing the character of Batman and then Christopher Nolan having to pick it up so he could make some masterpieces with the character. So
yeah.
that's the only reason why I respect Batman and Robin just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
I think that was actually the first Batman movie that I ever like live action Batman movie that I ever saw because I think
Hmm.
when it came out I was too young to see the Tim Burton one because it was dark
Hmm.
and all that stuff.
For
But
me,
yeah,
it
I think
was for me it was Adam West, and that's why I always have a special place in my heart for Adam West's Batman, because that to me as a kid, and Kevin Conroy, the animated series as well.
yes.
You know, so
Dude, I met Kevin Conroy last year. The greatest moment of my
oh
fucking
my
life.
god, fuck you, I hate you so
Dude,
much.
I was so dude, man. He's such a nice guy. He
I
said
bet
my
he
name.
is.
I almost collapsed on the ground.
Oh my god, dude, this is gonna be a whole nother story. But so they said they were gonna go younger for Batman. Who, there's plenty of people out there who have their own opinion. Who would you like to see as?
Man, this is a question that I've actually been getting a lot in the past couple of days. It's taken me a while to
Think
piece
about it.
together, yeah, kind of piece together who I think. Like I've seen names like Armie Hammer. I recently saw some stupid rumor that said that Robert Pattinson, Edward from the Twilight series,
Look,
is like
what? He
sought
gets a bad
after.
rap because he's done those movies. But if you've seen any other movie he's done after Twilight, he's a great actor.
See, the thing is why would I want to see him in anything else when I saw him in Twilight and I was just like, this is ass.
No,
Like, why would I want to?
trust me, he does some okay mediocre movies, but he is great in those movies. Give him a great script, he could pull it off easily. So I wouldn't be pissed if those rumors end up being true. So I'm just
See,
saying.
like there the actors that I would want to play him. Like I think Jake Gyllenhaal would be a great Batman,
Mhm.
but he's playing Mysterio.
I mean, but there's
John
no
Hamm.
there's no there's no, it doesn't matter because Lawrence Fishburne crossed between the DC universe and the Marvel universe within like a year. So I feel like if Jake Gyllenhaal's a one and go villain in Spider-Man Far From Home, he could easily come into Batman like that.
Yeah, but the thing is about Marvel
Mhm.
contracts is there is an exclusivity clause in their contract that says they can't star in movies in like DC movies. DC doesn't have that.
But what
So, which
about
is
like
why
what about with like
everyone-
Randall Park, who was in Ant-Man to Aquaman? Like that was a more recent example, kind of.
Yeah, but that means his contract expired because he's not in any other Marvel movies.
I
At
guess
least,
so.
at least in my knowledge.
Yeah, I guess so, because that's a smaller
Um,
character compared to like a key character.
Yeah.
So
But like I was saying, John Hamm. I think John Hamm would be a phenomenal Batman. Me
Mhm.
personally, I think he'd make a better Harvey Dent.
Mhm.
But John Hamm, I think, is a year older than Affleck, and if they were to cast him, they'd be in the exact same spot that they were in with
yeah.
Affleck when it comes to his age. So that wouldn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to, I don't know, throw a name in the hat, it probably Armie Hammer.
I mean,
He's
he's been circling this role for a while, ever since that canceled Justice League movie. He was supposed to play Batman in that George
Yeah.
Miller Justice League movie.
after the writer's strike,
Yeah,
after they canceled the movie, yeah, he was supposed to play him in George Miller's Justice League
it's like
Mortals. Have you
Mortals.
read the script for that movie? The movie,
I know the story, and I read it a long time ago, a very long time ago. But it was really, you know, odd. I'll
I
say.
liked it. I mean, I haven't read it since like it originally got leaked,
Mhm.
but um,
Have
it
you seen
it
what they were gonna look like in costume? Have you seen those
yes,
pictures?
and it looks horrible.
It looks
I
terrible.
like the act like the group still that got released. I think sometime last year looks absolutely horrible. It's also low quality, but it's possible that maybe those costumes could have looked better in live action,
And to
like
be
in
fair,
action.
it was not it was like pre 2010 too.
Yeah.
To be fair,
So
what about? I'll throw a name out there. What about? And this is kind of circled around because of some art going around. Ben Barnes.
oh, Jigsaw
Yeah,
from Punisher.
Punisher.
Uh, I mean, he has the look.
He has the look, and
He
I think
doesn't.
he could pull it off.
He doesn't necessarily have the physique, but that's something that can be changed very quickly in
Hmm.
Hollywood. They
Hmm.
they like put people on like these steroids and motherfuckers get big as hell.
Right.
I'm like, get me on that stuff, man. Like, shit. Um, the only thing that would make me a little bit hesitant about that is just his acting chops. Like to
Hmm.
play Bruce Wayne, to play Batman, to play that that duality. You have to have that little something. I don't know exactly what that something is, but like you just need to have it, and I don't know if he has it. Um,
So
I
yeah,
don't know.
there's Ben Barnes. This is a name that I'm really interested to hear because this would add something completely new, and this is like something that I've seen on Twitter that a lot of people end up wanting. Kind of. Uh,
Nick Jonas.
no, not Nick Jonas. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be
No,
terrible.
no, no,
It
no,
wouldn't be
no.
terrible.
Don't even
No, no.
say that. That
But I wasn't gonna say Nick
horrendous.
Jonas. It was.
Horrendous.
Have you heard of Daniel Kaluuya?
Yes, I actually did see it, and like it's funny because, of course, he's African American, and
Hmm.
people were like up in arms at even the slightest hint of Batman being anything but white.
I
And
mean,
I'm like, he is a fictional, made up character
it does not
whose
matter. It doesn't matter.
does not matter to the actual character himself. Like if it was Black Panther and they like to make him like some Asian guy, like yeah,
That would change it.
that's a
But it doesn't
problem.
matter. It doesn't for Batman. You could easily race bend that character because
Exactly.
like his race is not important to his character. So unlike someone like a Black Panther, where sure you should it'd be better without avoiding controversy, of course, if he was African American. With
The
Batman,
thing
it
is,
doesn't matter.
the thing is like Black Panther is literally the king of an African
African
like
nation, yeah,
yeah, like an African nation. Making him, I don't know, freaking Jim Bob from down the street. That's not really gonna
yeah.
work.
So
But
you know,
I I am open. The thing is, I had never really thought about Batman being like another ethnicity besides like Caucasian.
mhm,
But if you really want to shake things up, if you really want to, I don't know, just really set this Batman apart from anything that we've seen, freaking do it.
yeah.
I'd still see. I'm Batman's my favorite comic book character of all time. I
Same
literally
here.
have his
Same here.
arch nemesis on my
Like,
forearm. So I'm
your
hell,
game.
do it.
I'll throw in one more name, and I just kind of thought of this just randomly, and I think he'd be good, but this will certainly receive a lot of backlash. Uh, Rami Malek.
No.
Really?
That's a hard no for me, buddy.
Why?
I don't. I mean, he's a. Mind you, I haven't really seen him in much. I haven't seen what is the show that he's on, Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot, he's great in it.
I didn't see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, he's fantastic in that. Oh my god. So my argument was going to be if you have not seen those two, then you probably wouldn't
I
understand
mean,
why
like
I choose
just
him.
I don't know. Looking, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to like shade the guy at all, but like just looking at his face, I'm just like, you don't know. Nah, it's okay.
I mean, other than those two, my top choice would probably be John Hamm. But if you're going younger, I don't know. I feel like it's anybody's game at that point.
Yeah. The thing is like I know for a fact, like I think we both can agree that whoever they cast, there's gonna be an uproar.
I mean, just like with Ben Affleck, he ended up being great. There's going to be an uproar,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, hell, I was one of those people that was like mad when they cast Ben Affleck. I remember like it was yesterday. I was laying in bed getting ready to go to sleep because I had to work the next day,
Mhm.
and I saw it. It was just like it was like Batman v Superman. Ben Affleck cast as the Cape Crusader, and I was like, what? I
Uh,
was like, I was like Daredevil. I was like, this is horrible. I was like, this movie's gonna suck. Oh, I got
uh,
so sad. And then when that first picture came out of him standing next to the Batmobile, sold.
sold. I
I
mean,
didn't even
I
need.
was
I didn't
sold
need
from
to
when he
see a
was
single
announced.
frame. I didn't need to see a single frame of that movie, and I was just like,
Sold.
that's my Batman.
I was
That's
sold
Batman.
when they announced him. To be honest, I was dead sold.
I wish I was, man.
Uh,
But
I mean,
see that's what makes it even like shittier. Like this whole thing, like the nightmare sequence, like that nightmare Batman.
mhm.
Oh, dude, like that is that
And
that suit that he was wearing is my favorite Batman suit. Like with the
uh,
trench coat
yeah. I
and like the
mean,
Joker
all the
card on the
suits
assault
he's
rifle.
worn in all the movies, like even in Justice League, were pretty dope.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Man.
it does break my heart a little that he never did get a swan song. Like the last film that's in our taste with Ben Affleck as Batman is Justice League.
I'm literally staring at this at the hot toy right now. Dude. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Oh well. So Ben Affleck's gone, and there's nothing we can do about it. I mean,
Yeah.
if look, if he decided to step down for the personal stuff that's going on, good on him because he really does need to take the time and you
And
know, yeah, go for it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I was gonna say quickly before we actually end up moving on. Like I've seen some people have like DM'd me and messaged me and done all this stuff. It's like trying to like find some secret meaning in his like the tweet that he quoted saying that he was passing the torch, saying, "Oh no, this is only just a prequel." No, Matt Reeves wants to do a Batman prequel trilogy,
Mhm.
which means that
I
we
mean, well,
wouldn't. If they were to bring back Ben Affleck, or if Ben Affleck
it'd be
was still
Wonder Woman
Batman,
style. It would be like he'd be telling the story in the present, but like the story would be set in the past, kind
not
of
even
thing.
that. People are thinking that after this solo movie that he's gonna appear in Justice League too. Like,
No,
no, if they're
no,
doing a Batman trilogy with a younger Batman, if they were to if he was still Batman, we wouldn't see him until like 2026,
right.
and that's
And
not
he's
happening.
gonna be like 60 or something. But here's the thing: so they did anyone like in like Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or Warner Brothers, for instance, did they state when this movie's supposed to take place? The Matt Reeves Batman movie, is it supposed to be a prequel or is it supposed to be set modern day? But it's just a reboot of the character. Did they say that?
I'm trying to remember because I know Matt Reeves said something about it.
All right, so
Um,
we'll probably get there when you know
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
definitely
Well,
get there. All right, so Ben Affleck's not Batman anymore. We're done with that. So yesterday was a big day as we got a new look at the highly
fuck
anticipated
the
event.
Patriots. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
You know what, man? Fuck you. Tom Brady got a sixth ring.
Hey, bro, we've beaten
The-
Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl, so I'm okay. I'm just
Ah.
tired of seeing him in the Super Bowl.
Whatever, man. Haters gonna hate. Yesterday was a big day as we got a new look at the highly anticipated Avengers Endgame. The 30-second spot reveals no story details, but does have entirely new shots showcasing a world after the snap. What do you think about this, Josh?
I mean, it was super cool to see, um, like what the world kind of looks like after the whole, as they call what the decimation. I just call it everybody got dusted.
I just
They
called
did.
the snap.
I just call it the dustening
The
because
dustening.
everybody just got shredded like fajita meat.
Mhm.
But anyway, I think yeah, I think it was cool to see like a post snap world, kind of seeing Captain America like in like that
AA
um,
meeting, kind of.
yeah, like basically kind of going through like the trauma of everything that happened. Um, yeah, like you said, it doesn't show anything story wise. It doesn't show any characters that have been dusted. It kind of just shows everyone at their lowest point. This is the lowest we have ever seen the Avengers.
And
Um,
this is like what the Russos or Kevin Feige, one of them said, is that the trailers or all the TV spots for that matter are only going to show the first 15 to 30 minutes of the movie.
yeah.
So
Which is interesting because there's actually a really quick scene towards the end of the trailer where you see Captain America holding a shield and his hand is shaking, and then I'm guessing either he's about to rip it off or he's
dude,
tightening it.
I
Something like
screamed
that.
I screamed like a little girl when I saw that shield come like on screen. Like even it took me a second to like notice it was the shield, but I was like, holy fuck. I was like
Yeah,
screaming it out loud.
yeah. Like after I was watching the game with my dad, and like my dad's a huge comic book movie fan too. That's thanks to me. I turned my dad into a DC shill, which I'm very proud of. But he loved Infinity War. After it was over, he was just like, "You want me to rewind it?" And I was just like, "Yes, rewind it. What are you doing?" Like, you don't have to ask. But um, one thing I am curious though is like like where like in the first trailer for Endgame when Tony was in the ship, we didn't see Nebula, but in in this TV
She
spot
was
we see
there.
her working with him.
No, she was on the ship in the first trailer.
Oh, maybe I
Yeah.
just didn't look hard enough
No,
because
she was there. She was like when it shows her hand touching somebody, that was Tony she was touching.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, never mind.
So they're on the ship and like that shot of them like trying to work. It like feels urgent. Like you could feel the urgency and like you could just feel like the vibe like
Yeah, you got like heavy Iron Man 1 vibes from that too.
oh yeah, for sure. Like even with like down to the tank top almost.
Hmm.
Like so like man, if this movie ends up being 3 hours, if what the Russos are teasing, I'm all in for it to be give me 4 hours of this movie.
Oh, dude, I apparently there was like a 3.5 hour cut of Infinity War. I still want to see that.
I
Like,
mean, obviously like movies get trimmed down to like tell to for the pace and the story and all that and I get that. But if, bring it on. Just bring it on. Like
oh hell yeah.
3 hours, please. Let's do it. Or at least just and this is supposed to be it's rumored like this is Robert Downey Jr.'s last movie, this is Chris Evans' last movie, Hemsworth's last movie because like by their contracts it's their last one. So I mean there's a lot gonna happen in this movie. There's rumored to be time travel. They gotta undo what Thanos did, and if this is their swan song, it's gonna be interesting to see and to know that Marvel is marketing this in a way that we're not gonna see past like the 30-minute mark. I don't think that's ever been done before. Like
It's funny because like somebody actually messaged me and they were just like, Marvel's doing a horrible job at marketing this thing, and I was just like, dude, it's the Avengers. We're gonna go see it regardless. It doesn't
Right.
matter whether they release a trailer or not.
It's
Like,
pretty bold. Like I feel like even a property like Star Wars or even Star Wars could do something like this. Only show the first 30 minutes. Like you don't have to show anything from the third act because you're gonna see this movie. It's Avengers Endgame. You're gonna see this movie. It's Star Wars. Like I feel like
yeah,
more studios should. I mean, obviously for smaller movies, you should show like second act, third act stuff. But like a movie where everyone's gonna go see, like Infinity War made over $2 billion. Does this need an introduction again?
no.
No. So we're pretty hyped. Okay, so this next story, this one's gonna be kind of long because there's a lot to say. There was a lot of details. Kevin Smith. Everybody loves Kevin Smith. He reveals the original Justice League plans, the plans that when Zack Snyder was kind of running the DCEU at the time. He had this, 5-film, 6-film arc that each film was going to carry over to the next. So bear with me here. There's a lot to read, and then we can get into it. And then I'm going to let you talk first because, whew. All right.
There's a lot.
I'm ready. Smith says that he was told that in Snyder's version of Justice League, the film's ending was similar to the one we see now, but with one major difference. As Steppenwolf zooms up the boom tube back to his home planet, defeated, Darkseid appears at the other end and glimpses the Justice League. Smith says the League saw Darkseid and Darkseid saw them. Boom tubes closes, and that's the end of the fucking movie. With them all knowing there's something out there and they have to go. Smith also says that the shot in the Justice League trailer of Jeremy Irons' Alfred talking to an unknown person off screen was meant to be Green Lantern's arrival, not the reemergence of Superman. This would have opened the doors for a sequel set off Earth. Smith says Justice League 2 was going cosmic as they were going to take the fight to Apocalypse, and the Lantern Corps was involved. The end of Justice League 2, however, would have been a defeat, with Smith noting that Darkseid would have defeated the Justice League, then gone back to Earth to desecrate the world, forming the apocalypse we glimpsed in Batman's nightmare scene in Batman v Superman. This would have led to the third and final film being a showdown with Darkseid. And Smith adds that was going to be the entire third movie, the hero's last stand against Darkseid and the forces of Apocalypse. Holy fuck! So Josh, what's your biggest takeaway from this? Take all the time you want.
Honestly, the biggest man. there's so much to digest from that thing. Okay, let me start off by saying one thing.
Mhm.
The whole like Alfred talking to a Green Lantern.
Yeah, that's what I got confused too, because we saw that deleted scene. That was Superman in the deleted.
Yeah.
I was confused about it. Like, huh?
I mean, and the thing is I don't think Snyder would have reshot that. He didn't have any time to reshoot it because he was already dealing with his personal stuff
Hmm.
when reshoots were happening.
Right.
So I don't that part I don't entirely understand, but that's not the first time that I've heard that. Um,
A Green Lantern
actually,
was supposed to show up.
well, actually, I heard that there was a post-credit scene where Bruce was sleeping in his house and like a green light goes by
Because
and he
yeah,
wakes up.
that was like
And
rumored for the longest time. We knew that a Green Lantern was going to be involved to like a very minimal capacity. Very much how like the Flash was very briefly seen in Batman vs Superman. He was setting up Justice League, obviously, and I think what Green Lantern was supposed to do here, or a Green Lantern was supposed to do here, was kind of lay the seed a little bit for Justice League 2.
yeah, so
That's
I mean, I'm honestly my biggest takeaway from it is just the fact that we would have seen Darkseid. Darkseid is
and that was
one of
like
like
heavily rumored for the longest that Darkseid was going to appear at the end of Justice League.
he's the coolest Justice League villain
He is the
by
Justice League villain.
by far. Yeah, like Mongol's cool and I love Brainiac, but like man, like it's freaking Darkseid, man.
It
Like
is Darkseid.
he was voiced by Splinter Cell's Sam Fisher, um,
Hmm.
in the animated series, and I think that's what made me love the character so much.
Right.
But it's so disheartening to hear what we could have gotten and
Hmm.
then compare that to what we actually got.
Shit.
I actually watched Justice League, like a good portion of it.
I mean,
Late
look,
last.
it's not a terrible movie. It's not a great movie. It's just like in the middle. It's just eh.
Oh no, for me it's cheeks. I like, especially when you think about what it was supposed to be and what we got. Like
Right.
it's trash.
It is. I mean,
And
like
like
I had fun with it, but there was a lot of problems with it.
I'm like it's shitty when you have to have fans create a cut from the jumbled pile of mess that you gave them to put together a decent film.
Hmm.
That's
Right.
sad. We shouldn't have to do that. We
Hmm.
shouldn't have to create a fan cut for. Oh, fan cut's coming out March 1st, by the way. Just might have plugged that. We shouldn't have to do that. But
Damn.
I mean, here we are. But I think
So, kind of what we got out of this, what we kind of got an idea of what kind of direction Justice League 2 was heading. Smith said they were going to go cosmic, and they were going to go take the fight to Apocalypse, and apparently they were going to be defeated. And apparently Zack Snyder has hinted in the past that Batman was going to die somewhere around in between Justice League 2 and Justice League 3. I don't know if you.
it might have.
I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
if
no,
you-
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that. It most likely would have happened at the end of Justice League 2 because that's what I recently heard that it happened at the end.
And that's why Ben Affleck signed up in the first place, because it wasn't like a multi-film thing. It was like a few films. Like it was going to be Justice League. I mean, Batman vs Superman. Then it was going to be Justice League. Then it was going to be his own thing, and then Justice League 2. That would have been only 4 movies. That's why he only signed a 4-film contract in the first place.
It was a 5-film contract. Don't forget about his appearance in
In
Suicide
Suicide Squad. So yeah, 5 films. That's right. Instead
Because,
of
I mean, even the stuff, the little bit that he shot for Suicide Squad was cut, and we got like that little chase scene with Joker and Harley.
Mhm. And then there was the thing
Um,
with Jetshot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Suicide Squad is a bad movie, but I love that part. That part's great.
Yeah,
It
it's
felt
fine.
so animated, seriesy.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing that pisses me off in this whole thing, and I mentioned previously when we were talking about the Ben Affleck story, how much I love the nightmare sequence.
Mhm.
And
And that was clearly going to tie
would-
into what happened in.
it would have been such a massive payoff
Mhm.
to see that world, that environment again. And it's funny because like people were like super confused about, oh, why is this in BVS? Why is this here? Like we would have found out if, people just left well enough alone and actually let directors direct and let them
Right.
tell the story that they were hired on to tell in the first place.
Right. And I mean, I mean, it's kind of hard to know where this was going with just the details we know. We literally just found out about this, and the third one was going to be just them fighting Darkseid. How much of a threat was Darkseid going to be? Like, how much setup would there have been? It would have been interesting to see them go cosmic-y. That would have been awesome, and how if they were ever going to cross over with the Suicide Squad in the first place. That
Oh
would,
man, I'm just thinking of like Zack Snyder, Oa, and just the core and just
yeah, it's too bad.
so much untapped potential, man.
it
Jeez.
it does suck, and like obviously DC's heading into a different direction, a much different direction, a much lighter direction. So with all that said, this is what we were, and it's funny, this Justice League 2 movie, if had Zack Snyder stayed on, this Justice League 2 movie was supposed to be come out, I believe it was July of this year, 2019.
Don't tell me that, man. That just makes me even more depressed.
You know what makes me more depressed? Ben Affleck's Batman movie, when he was going to direct it, was supposed to come out last year.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was October of 2018. It was supposed to be it.
That sucks.
It was supposed to. It had Ben Affleck stayed as a director. It would have come out in October of 2018.
We've been robbed of so much.
We've been
and
robbed
that's something that really bothers me about just everything that's happened post BVS. It's just like, stop listening to these, stop getting scared and immediately changing your entire plan just because a select group of people don't like the direction that you're taking.
Warner Brothers is a very reactionary studio, like a very the biggest thing I remember after BVS came out, and like Justice League was going to shoot like 2 weeks later after BVS came out. They made this whole thing about and people were upset because of the tone of Batman vs Superman. And then 2 weeks later, Warner Brothers brought in all the set they had that giant set visit, and they banged everyone on the head. It's going to be a lighter tone, guys. It's going to be a much lighter movie. It's going to be a funnier movie. Like, they're such a reactionary studio. And
you can't be like that, because then you get things like Justice League. I hate calling it that, but I mean,
it is what it is.
It's just really sad.
It's sad.
Just really sad. I'm more sad than upset about it.
You know what? I'll give them this. At least they took the time. Now they have a legitimate leader. I think it was a mistake a little bit to have a director be the guide, the guide to lead this universe. I mean, obviously have Zack Snyder and make the film he wants to make with Justice League 2 and 3, but don't have him be the architect of this universe, kind of. I felt like they should have got somebody like a Walter Hamada, who they have now, in the first place, to kind of oversee everything.
Well, see, the thing is though, but the director has a idea of the overarching story.
He does. That's
why it was good for George Lucas to direct the Star Wars original, not the prequels, but to have him direct the
first one.
Yeah, the first
and
the
original
trilogy.
Yeah,
and then then you see the problem with the current trilogy now, where you had
a disconnect.
The first one, and there's that huge disconnect. So I don't think it was a problem having him.
I think what it should have been. I think Zack Snyder direct the first Justice League, and then him be a producer for the other two Justice League movies and have somebody else come in. Because what you get is the Russo brothers have been involved with a lot of Marvel movies, and Kevin Feige still kind of oversees the entire story in the universe. Whereas I feel like when you give one director whose main focus is to focus on the movie he's making at the moment, to make him think about the movie he's making, not have him think about the other movies, I gotta worry about Wonder Woman, I gotta worry about this Batman movie, I gotta worry about the Flash's movie. I feel like they should have had a guy in the seat, a guy in the chair from the beginning, and they didn't have that. And that's kind of why I feel like we were in this position now, where Warner Brothers is gun shy, pretty much.
Yeah, they're super gun shy. Could you imagine if Aquaman did bad?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
It would just be. You ever see that GIF from Community of when he walks in with two pizzas and everything's just on fire, people are swinging shit? It makes it like that.
I get the word I heard around the street, and the reason why, we haven't heard anything about Matt Reeves' Batman movie for a while, is the reason why we didn't hear any moves on DC's, and the reason why we're hearing it now post Aquaman, is because Warner Brothers wanted to see how well Aquaman was going to do with the critics, audiences, and financially, to whether to reboot the entire damn thing or to start continue where Aquaman's going. So
Aquaman, for, I'm not trying to be punny, they knocked it out of the park, dude.
They got the fish out of the water.
Oh yeah, they knocked it out of the water. I was trying to say knocked it out of the water.
But yeah, I mean, it
was a splash splash hit.
It was
All
a
right.
splash hit. I mean, this is all kind of like a woulda shoulda kind of scenario, like with this whole Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's clearly moved on. He's doing a movie for Netflix, and I mean, obviously, I would have been interested to see the rest of the storyline that he set up very, effortlessly in BVS, kind of pay it off, at least until Justice League or Justice League 2. But it is what it is.
So also the thing that I've kind of pieced together is that Zack Snyder didn't intend for the DCEU to run 10, 15, 20 years.
Which is
He
a bit
had
odd.
Yeah, it was a little odd, especially when I kind of figured it out, because he had a set story, had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then that was it.
But
There wasn't supposed to be 50 films in this universe.
one thing I know, I think one of the factors that played into it, we've heard that Zack Snyder was planning on killing Batman. Do you think in any circumstance, had this universe kept going after like Justice League 3 and all that, I'm sure it would have gone after Justice League 3. Do you think there's like a single executive at Warner Brothers that called Zack Snyder a fucking idiot for killing Batman? $1 billion property. Killing him at Justice League 2.
I mean, I guarantee there are people that were probably upset at the. I mean, just hearing the rumor that Zack Snyder was going to kill Batman, you saw people flip out. People were acting like Zack Snyder about to kill their firstborn child. I'm just like, so what? I mean, I'm a huge Batman fan. I've been a Batman fan since I was 3 years old. I'm 23
Right, but
now.
I think Warner Brothers too are like, you're gonna kill this $1 billion property.
No, the thing is that they had to have agreed to it when he first pitched the DCEU to them.
I don't know.
He had to have laid out the entire plan for them.
Well, the rumor was like, even then, like, apparently a Batman vs Superman was announced 2 days after they thought of the idea of putting Batman in Man of Steel 2. That's the rumor, and we're like, so they're basing like it just seems like a mess. It seemed like a mess from the start, and no matter if you agree with the direction or not, at least they got a guy in the chair now in Walter Hamada.
I mean, so far it seems to be working. Aquaman was they blew it out of the water. That's what I was trying to say. Damn it. Aquaman did a fantastic. Was great.
Shazam looks great.
Shazam is shaping up to be a super solid. Wonder Woman 1984 is coming out.
Birds of Prey
next year.
Next year?
Is Wonder Woman coming out this year?
No, it got pushed to 2020.
Damn it! All right.
Yeah.
You got that, and then you've got
the Batman.
Yeah, you got Batman. You got Birds of Prey. Then you've got them, working on Blue Beetle and all these other great properties.
Did you hear about the news of the Super Pets is getting a movie? I didn't include it in the show notes, but
I don't know anything about Super Pets, man. I'm guessing Crypto and Ace are in there somewhere.
I think so. All right, moving on. Woulda, coulda, shoulda with Justice League 2, Zack Snyder. So Suicide Squad 2 gets a release date, and apparently the word on the street, they got the director after much speculation. James Gunn, I
forgot about this one.
After much speculation, Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn was originally announced to pen the screenplay, but is now taking the helm of Suicide Squad 2 in the director's chair, which is actually under the working title of The Suicide Squad, and is set to be a relaunch, not a sequel, of the brand with a set of new characters and new actors. The film is set for an August 2021 release. You got this one?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this as professional as possible because I don't want to cause any bullshit. James Gunn he's a really good director.
Mm-hmm.
He killed it with Guardians. Like the first Guardians. Guardians 2 was an okay film.
I liked it.
I do think Ego is one of the better MCU villains. But I'm not too fond of him moving over to DC. And directing, and due to the reason why he got fired from Marvel in the first place.
I mean, that was a stupid reason. Like, come on.
See, the thing is like we have two very different opinions about that, and I don't really want to get into that because we could be here for a very long time.
Yeah. All right. So keep it on the.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said I'm trying to keep as professional as possible.
Right.
I I love the Suicide Squad. I think it's a great roster of villains and anti-heroes. I'm pretty sure because they said that it's a relaunch, so they're gonna keep
New characters and new actors.
yeah they're gonna keep Harley. They're most likely gonna keep Will Smith as Deadshot.
Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to keep Harley. I think, the point of the Birds of Prey, and I think the point of the whole Gotham City Sirens thing is that Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is over there.
Oh, so you don't think she's gonna be a part of the Suicide Squad?
I don't think so, because
unless she gets caught again, obviously.
I mean, the way it's worded, like, is set to be a relaunch with brand new characters and actors. I think, James Gunn, he goes for the, as regardless of Guardians 1 and what you think of Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, he goes for it. Everybody questioned the fact that a talking raccoon and a talking tree were going to be in Guardians, and the Ego the Living Planet was going to be in a movie. And a Taserface was going to be in a movie. James Gunn really goes for these bizarre, storylines and bizarre characters that I feel like he's going to go for some bizarre characters for Suicide Squad 2. I think he might even bring King Shark into Suicide Squad 2.
I like King Shark. King Shark's a really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a hammerhead shark. It's a hammerhead or great white. He's a great white. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a king shark. But I think this is going to be. I think Will Smith is out. I think Jack Courtney is out. I think Harley Quinn is out. I think they're all out.
I'll tell you who's I can with all assurance say one person is completely out, and that's Jared Leto.
Oh, he's done. He's done.
I don't think we will ever.
He's doing Morbius now. He's doing Morbius.
Ever again. He's
right.
done.
I think the only person from the first Suicide Squad movie that's going to carry into it, and this is a maybe, and I could see why they would carry this into it, would probably be Viola Davis as Amanda Waller.
Really, I think out of everyone that was in the first movie, I think Jai Courtney would be the one that comes back because
I don't think he would either. I mean, maybe Viola Davis is okay, maybe I got to force make a new team because fuck it, reasons. But I don't know. I think when the Hollywood Reporter said a relaunch, I really do think they're gonna go with new characters and just overall a new, just roster of characters. And I think for the better, I guess, because Suicide Squad #1 was not a really well received movie to begin with, so you could easily get away with a relaunch of the brand easily.
I mean, it did well financially, but that was about it.
That was about it. We can all agree that was probably the weakest DCEU movie.
Yeah, I would say so.
Hula dancing girl.
I hate it.
I mean, I feel at least I know we're not going to get that here with Suicide Squad relaunch or the Suicide Squad, but we've heard that DC offered James Gunn recently. DC offered James Gunn a Man of Steel 2 or Superman. And he apparently chose Suicide Squad 2 over Superman.
Yep.
So this is this is what we're getting. Do you I guess how do I word this question? Do you think James Gunn is a good fit for? Are you excited? Is this something that piques your interest? Are you excited for? Or?
I think the quirkiness of the squad, and I think that world does suit him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll do a good job. Because he, like I said, he is a good filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, I didn't include this in the notes, but apparently this kind of came out recently. Do you know Daniel RPK on Twitter?
Yeah.
So he's kind of been letting out some details about what the original Suicide Squad 2 was going to be when Gavin O'Connor was going to do it, and what Suicide Squad is shaping up to be now. So apparently what the original script, what was originally going on, it was going to be...
did you pay for his Patreon?
No, I did not.
Oh, thank God.
Why?
No,
I don't pay...
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just follow him on Twitter because, he's pretty reliable, kind of. But he let us know, the original Suicide Squad 2 story was going to be set in the Middle East, and the one thread that we heard since the beginning was that Suicide Squad 2 and Birds of Prey had various similar scripts in the involvement of saving a little girl. So, what ended up happening was that story ended up going to Birds of Prey, the saving of a little girl in Cassandra Cain in For Birds of Prey. And so now what's happening is that the Suicide Squad is set to be exactly like the Guardians of the Galaxy, like the comedy, kind of vibe. So does that like kind of change your tune a little bit? Would you have rather seen what Gavin O'Connor was going to do with Suicide Squad 2, or?
Yeah, because Gavin O'Connor, he directed The Accountant with Ben Affleck, right?
Which was really good, yeah.
Yeah,
And Warrior.
Actually, I didn't see Warrior.
Fantastic movie. Fantastic.
I mean, I think. I mean, like, I feel like I don't know. I like David Ayer, and I would have liked to see him do Suicide Squad 2 with actually getting time to write the script and do
Not
things
4 weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah, they literally gave him like a month to write the entire script of like a 2-hour movie. Like, you can't
do it.
And
It takes some time.
Yeah, and then expect it to be good. Like, you can't do that. Like, I would have liked to see David Ayer get a second crack at it, but obviously that's not happening, and I'm pretty sure he's probably not going to direct another DC film ever.
Yeah, I think he's not. I don't even think he's going to be doing Gotham City Sirens as whatever everyone claims. I don't think he's going to end up doing that.
Yeah, it's not happening. But yeah, so
That's it.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it, just because of James Gunn now, and if this is a revamp, I'm looking forward to it, hands down. And the final topic of the day. Matt Reeves finally, after 2 years, gives some insight on his story for the Batman. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, Reeves again emphasized the world's greatest detective angle of his noir Batman. Reeves says, the comics have a history of that. He's supposed to be the world's greatest detective, and that's not necessarily been a part of what the movies have been. I'd love this to be one where when we go on that journey of tracking down the criminals and trying to solve a crime, it's going to allow his character to have an arc so that he can go through a transformation. Confirming the current title is still The Batman, though there is still time for that to change. Reeves added that he's going to pit the hero against a rogues gallery of villains. What do you think about that, Josh?
Dude, hearing rogues gallery and Batman, like, I'm buying my ticket like
right now,
like last Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so stoked about this, man. I think the part, like, even like I'm super stoked about having like multiple villains, and normally I would be a little bit afraid to have multiple villains in a superhero movie because normally that doesn't really work out.
Never has
well.
worked.
But it's Matt Reeves. I trust him. He did a phenomenal job with the Ape series. I'm stoked to see a detective Batman, dude. Like, we've seen the brawler. We've seen the brawler. We've seen the tactician when it comes to Ben Affleck's Batman. Like, I want to see a detective Batman, one who's like scanning crime scenes and he's
and
like,
we got a little bit of that in the Brick from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, like, yes, more stuff like that. Like, yeah. I
feel like if any director can pull something like that off, it would be Matt Reeves because of how he, when you look at what he's done, what he did with Caesar in the Apes movies, he kind of broke down the psychology of this ape who's, realizing he's more than that. He's a leader. He's a father in a way. And I feel like
because we'll be most likely getting stuff akin to like The Long Halloween, The Dark Victory, just more detective noir style Batman that we've never seen before.
And I feel like I hope he's doing a trilogy of these movies. That would be.
That's what he said when I think when they were on the red carpet for War for the Planet of the Apes. He said he would like for this to be a trilogy because he has ideas for how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think just having a detective Batman, somebody who's who's more, like, he's the world's greatest detective, and we haven't really seen that side of him.
I mean, obviously there's going to be the brawler aspect, but just to know that it's going to lean a little bit more towards the detective side is pretty reassuring. I think he's the world's greatest detective for a reason.
And then you think about Rogues Gallery, like, it's just like crap. Like, what villains are we gonna get? Like, are we gonna there's been rumors that we're gonna be getting Penguin. Let
me cut you on that. Who do you want? If so, how many do you think there's gonna be, and who would you want in that lineup?
Are you really asking me who I want in a Batman movie?
I mean, I know that the answer's probably gonna be everyone.
Oh
All right,
man.
let's limit it to 4, even though it could
Four
be more.
villains?
Let's
Okay.
limit it to 4.
Okay, so of course I would love to list all the big names, and because that's just how I am. But
Hmm.
I have to, within the context of the story,
Hmm.
for the context of the film, not all of them can be heavy hitters.
Right.
So I don't think so. I mean, they might be, but you never know.
Hmm.
Um, I think we'll see the Riddler.
Right.
Um, I believe. I do believe the Penguin rumor.
Josh Gad.
No, I don't want him. I don't know. I don't want him.
Right.
Yeah, Riddler, Penguin. Uh,
It's
I would
tough.
love to. I would love to see Calendar Man. I
Ooh,
would love to see. If you want to talk about
that would be
bringing
great.
bringing detective
Bizarre.
aspects, if you want to talk about bringing detective aspects into a Batman movie, bring
Calendar
in
Man.
Calendar Man,
Mhm.
or Julian Holiday.
Right.
So that's 3. Fourth, because I mean, Penguin's not really a main villain.
I mean,
Um,
I think he could be considered a main villain, to be honest.
yeah, like I'm not gonna include somebody like Hush or Ra's al Ghul or
No.
Red Hood, because those are too big for you for like a first Batman movie, like right
And
off
right,
the
and if
bat.
it's supposed to be a younger movie, it wouldn't. I mean, a younger Batman,
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to have a Red Hood in that era. I guess in his life.
Um, let's
And you got
see.
one more to go because you said Riddler, you got Penguin, and then you said Calendar Man.
I'm going through so many villains in my head right now, dude. You have no idea. Uh,
Harley Quinn.
no,
No.
no Harley, no Joker.
Okay, fair enough.
And no Black Mask.
Ooh. Oh yeah, because probably for Birds of Prey. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
I would
I'm
throw in
gonna,
Victor Zaz in there or Hush.
Zaz is in Birds of Prey.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh, I
Zaz
might have
is in
missed
Birds
that.
of Prey. And then
Oh.
and Hush, and with Hush, there's a huge backstory to that.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't, and like I said, I don't think that would be something that he'd want to tackle right off the bat for a younger Batman. He's gonna have to reintroduce. He's gonna have to introduce a whole new Batman to this audience.
Hmm.
So I don't think they would include Hush.
I think Riddler's certainly in there. I think Penguin. It's been heavily rumored that Penguin is involved somehow, even if it's small, minor, or major. I think Penguin is going to be in there. Um, Gosh, Mr. Freeze could be. I think he needs a redemption on the big screen. And
I
think,
would love Mr. Freeze. Dude, get Bryan Cranston to play him.
I mean, that would be awesome. Um, there's just so many like I've said this before. Batman has the greatest rogues gallery of villains next to Spider-Man. Batman has the greatest rogues gallery of pantheon of villains, and I think that's what makes him the best superhero out there is the storylines he has with all these not super villains, but villains. I would love to see Killer Croc in there. I don't think Matt Reeves would want to do someone like Killer Croc, unfortunately.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too out there right now.
Might be too out there. I think this is going to be a little bit of a more practical movie, if that makes like low tech kind of, if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
So definitely Riddler, definitely Penguin, maybe Mr. Freeze. I don't know who else you could throw in there. Maybe Polka Dot Man.
Hey, if we're listing wild villains, bro, throw in my boy the Condiment King.
Oh my god, yes. You know what?
Love the Condiment King.
You know, if you've not seen the Lego Batman movie, definitely check it out. Phenomenal. I love that movie.
I just realized that I have not seen that.
Really, it's great. It's great. It's great. Like, do it. Just watch it. Just watch it. Yeah, Condiment King makes a really special appearance.
Oh
in
wait,
that.
I did see the Lego Batman movie and I didn't like it.
Really? I
just
love
remember-
that movie.
yeah.
I love that movie. It's so good, but it's been what really does kind of piss me off a little bit is that Matt Reeves came on in February of 2017. It's February of 2019. And we've heard like very little about like we're only getting this now and like by the time we get this in I believe the date is June 2021, he would have been working on this movie for 4 years. That's quite a long time, isn't it?
Hey man, greatness takes time. I'm actually not like too like bent up about it. You know, like I would rather them take as much time as possible to create the best Batman movie that we've ever gotten than to rush it out just because it's a Batman movie and we should have it done in X amount of time.
Right. But I mean, look, we're never gonna see what Ben Affleck's Batman movie was gonna be like. Obviously, I don't think Joe Manganiello is coming back as Deathstroke as much as I would have loved to have seen him come back and see that storyline play out where it was supposed to be like the game meets the Batman kind of thing, which would have been awesome to see. But if I can't have that, having a detective-esque, focused Matt Reeves directed Batman movie with a younger Batman, I don't think this is a bad bet. I think it's gonna be fine.
That's gonna be amazing, man.
Yeah.
I still think we might see Joe Manganiello back as Deathstroke.
But
I don't know when because there's really no movie aside from the Batman that he could show up in, but it takes place as an earlier, you know.
time
I
period.
don't know. We'll see, man. There's a lot. There's a lot.
And we're gonna know soon because they're gonna if this movie's coming out in 2021, this movie's gonna be shooting pretty soon, and we're gonna know who our Batman is. I'm gonna bet by I don't want to say I guess by Comic-Con maybe. I think by Comic-Con we will know who our Batman is.
Yeah, they might have a no. Actually, no, they would not announce it at Comic Con because if they hate it, they're gonna boo that man off stage.
Oh,
They
maybe.
would do that.
But I mean, I feel like there's gonna be some details we're gonna learn at Comic-Con, like maybe who's gonna be in the movie, like which rogues gallery is Matt Reeves referring to, maybe. But whatever it could be, I think showing up at Comic Con would be a big win for DC this year. I think so.
Oh yeah, I mean they've won Comic Con the past 2 years, so I mean,
I
look,
mean,
history.
2017. What was 2017? What did they do?
Wonder Woman, Justice League, and
2017?
then
No, was it?
yeah,
No, 2016 was Wonder Woman and Justice League.
no 2016 was BVS and Suicide Squad.
2016? No, that was 2015, dude.
No BVS came out in 20. Wait, fuck.
Yeah, 2016. No, so 2015 they were promoting BVS and Suicide Squad. 2016 was Wonder Woman and Justice League and Suicide Squad. In 2017 was I believe just Justice League and I think Aquaman 2. 2018 was just Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I that's from the top of my head. But I don't know. It could be competitive because it's rumored that Marvel's gonna unveil their Phase 4 plans at Hall H2.
I
I
heard
don't
that
know.
Marvel wasn't even gonna be there this year.
Apparently they are. I think
Yeah, I said that they weren't gonna be doing like Comic Con or the
D23
or not D23 that little like event that they did where they unveiled their
Phase
Phase 3
3.
stuff.
I think they're gonna do it at Comic Con because they've hinted that we might go to Comic Con and announce Phase 4, kind of thing.
Hell, I mean, if it happens, shit.
It's gonna be
I don't.
great. It's gonna be a great Comic Con. I'll tell you that. Whether it's
I'm,
what, I just want to know who our Batman is. Like, just give me a good actor, please. Robert Pattinson, maybe.
no, please. My dad texted me that today. He was like, "What do you think of this?" He sent me some article from some site that I've never heard of, and I was
You
just
want to
like,
know where
"Dad,
that rumor started from?
where?"
Apparently,
Like Twitter, right?
no. It started because someone made fan art of Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne / Batman, and because of that, people are running headlines. Clickbait. Unfortunately, see Robert Pattinson as Batman, and then from there, Robert Pattinson should play Batman. And all that.
Yeah,
So
he
like,
most definitely should not.
I think he'd be fine.
Uh,
Anyways, no matter what we think, that will do it for the ABNC show today. Josh, you got any closing words?
um, we got robbed of Batfleck. The nightmare sequence is the greatest sequence in any comic book movie of all time, and I will take that to my grave.
Are you on the release the Snyder cut kind of train?
Not anymore, dude. That shit's never coming out.
Uh, uh,
It's never
you
never
know,
coming out.
this is just a little, I guess, ending segment. Let's do a little, roulette. All right, hypothetically, if it happens, what year do you think it will come out?
What year is it right now?
It's 2019.
I don't know, in year 3000?
2000.
2038?
I'm gonna say
I'll be like 50 or some shit. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna say 2025 ish, maybe.
Honestly, I think if they were still going with Snyder's plan and the DCEU ended after Justice League 3, we would get it 3 years after that.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense, I guess.
But the thing is now is like
they're moving on. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
as much. I don't think it's happening. This is just for fun. Obviously, when we, it's just for fun.
yeah,
It's never happening. Yeah,
never.
fuck it. It's never
So
happening.
just give it up. Stop with the hashtag release the Snyder Cut. It's not happening. The closest we're ever gonna get to the Snyder Cut is him releasing
More
stills
Vero
on
pictures.
Vero.
More pictures. So
That's
where can
supposed
people
to
where can people find you on social media, Josh?
You can find me on Twitter at really sharp. That's sharp with an E, and you can also find me on Instagram, where I'm always at posting really stupid shit on my story at DCU News. Come by, hang out, talk with me about. Weird
Ask him
stuff.
questions, guys. Ask him questions.
Just stop asking me. Just stop asking me about when you can watch Titans. Either you're gonna watch it on the DC Universe or Netflix, or if you're international, leave me alone about it.
Hey, Josh. Where can I watch Titans?
Stop.
Where can I watch Titans?
I'm not answering that
Dude,
question.
I don't want to pay for DC Universe. Do you wait? I'm just throwing that. Do you pay for DC Universe or?
Hell yes, I pay for DC Universe.
I might when they put more content on there. Probably with Swamp Thing, maybe, or maybe Stargirl. But I'm waiting for more content, to be honest.
I mean, the thing is, Young Justice alone, I think, is worth it.
I've heard great things. I'm
on season 2, so I haven't been able to watch it.
You know what? I might wait for Doom Patrol to finish up. So probably Mayish. Then I'll probably get it.
Ooh, Doom Patrol.
I've heard good things. I've heard good things about Doom Patrol.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so you can find me on social media at Pakibruh, Pakibruh, on Instagram and on Twitter. And I guess do you have any closing segments, closing words, final words?
Nah.
We got to end on a high note. We got to say that's
nothing depressing.
Nothing depressing. It's got to end here. This is it. This is the final hurrah.
Man, I'm putting me on the spot like this.
People who are listening are counting on this to be like the best part of the show.
PS4 is better than Xbox.
I can agree with that.
So,
thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, see you later.
Peace.